Hey everyone, I'm back with another update. In this episode, I'll cover news related to immigration and Minnesota. Of course, I'll end with the noteworthy tidbits. 8 Democrat states were caught spending at least $1.8 billion on illegal aliens' health care, and CMS Administrator Dr. Oz revealed that there was a sevenfold increase in hospice in Los Angeles County alone. The Department of Homeland Security funding bill, set to be passed soon, will give $10 billion to the department and will include $20 million for body cameras and no requirement for agents to remove their masks, and congressional Democrats are threatening to shut down the government over this. As immigration enforcement operations continue, the resistance against ICE grows stronger. The Black Panthers are now organizing and training to guard their community against ICE raids, and Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said information about ICE agents' children is being posted on the dark web. ICE lawyers are being stalked on their way home from work, and ICE agents are now taking photos of their harassers and stalkers to be submitted for investigation and potential criminal charges. Let's shift to news out of Minnesota, which is mostly a continuation of the immigration and anti-ICE theme. Department of Justice official Alina Habba said RICO charges are being considered for the anti-ICE riot funders, and the FBI launched an investigation into Renee Good's partner on whether the two impeded and assaulted the Minneapolis ICE agent who shot Good. The Department of Homeland Security announced 3,000 illegal aliens have been arrested in Minnesota so far, including several convicted of sexual assault and homicide. The Department of Justice launched an investigation into Don Lemon and other anti-ICE leftists who stormed a church in Minneapolis, as Don Lemon is reportedly caught admitting his intent to violate the FACE Act. Pastors nationwide are calling for criminal charges against Don Lemon and others for that exact reason, and Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon said prosecutors arrived in Minneapolis to investigate these alleged FACE Act violations. Dillon also said that Don Lemon is not protected from the FACE Act charges, and the funders and organizers of this stunt are being hunted and will face criminal charges as well. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche confirmed prison time for these people is being aggressively pursued, and that Don Lemon does not have a get-out-of-jail-free card just because he claims to be a journalist. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison is facing more calls to resign after he endorsed the mob that stormed the church, and more has come out about those involved. One of those who terrorized Christians, including children, in the church is a St. Paul school board member, and another is the same man who followed, harassed, and attacked National Guardsmen in Washington, D.C. A woman who used to be the head of the Black Lives Matter movement was also involved, as well as a man who is traveling state to state for crap like this. President Trump said DHS and ICE need to start talking about the murderers and other criminals they're capturing, resulting in a safer country and saving innocent lives. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem confirmed Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey and Governor Tim Walz released 490 illegal alien drug traffickers, rapists, and murderers onto the street instead of handing them over to ICE in the jails, and ICE agents in Minneapolis arrested a Sudanese man with 12 prior criminal convictions and nearly 50 other targets. Attorney General Pam Bondi traveled to Minneapolis to give another Fox News interview. To warn Frey and Walz that they aren't above the law, but as we know by now, Bondi's actions produced zero results as usual. The FBI served subpoenas to Governor Walz, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, and Mayor Frey as part of a major criminal investigation, and a House investigation has been launched into Somali Congresswoman Ilhan Omar's net worth exploding up to $30 million. Speaking of shady business, Vice President Vance revealed the White House confirmed that only 12% of our foreign aid went to the people who needed it, and bombshell footage found that judges in Ohio can be bought with bribes to keep migrants in the United States. Now it's time for the noteworthy tidbits, which are brought to you today by Big Fork Brands. Let me tell you about them quick. Sometimes I get on a roll cleaning or gardening, and I need a boost but don't have time for a meal. Big Fork Brand's pork jerky is the perfect choice to keep my momentum, offering high-protein snacks for on-the-go energy boosts. Not only do they offer pork jerky, but they also make pork sticks, bacon sausage, bacon hot dogs, and burger and hot dog sauces. Products come in a variety of delicious flavors, including Thai green curry and maple and brown sugar for the meat options, and gangster and Chicago fire for the sauces. I personally think the original flavor of the pork jerky hits just right after tackling a big chore. It's a little salty and very flavorful. My discount code gives you 20% off your entire order, and it's currently the best deal available. Just visit bigforkbrands.com and enter in my promo code JADE, that's JADE, at checkout. All right, let's get back to the tidbits. President Trump announced that Mark Rutte, the Secretary General of NATO, called him concerning Greenland, and they agreed to meet with various parties regarding this in Davos, Switzerland, while there for the World Economic Forum. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney said he stands against the United States taking Greenland, and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that any European country that sent troops to Greenland in reaction to Trump will be slapped with 10% tariffs starting February 1st. Elon Musk donated $10 million to Nate Morris to replace Mitch McConnell in Kentucky in this year's election. Congress is considering making daylight savings time year-round. President Trump announced the United States has withdrawn from the UN Human Rights Council, the UN Relief and Works Agency, the Paris Climate Accord, and dozens of other foreign entities. It's been confirmed that Neville Singham has contributed funds to anti-ICE riots and agitators nationwide. Congressman John Rose revealed that Congress has sent over 200 bills to the Senate that the Senate hasn't acted on. Vice President Vance and Second Lady Usha are expecting their fourth child, a baby boy, due in July. President Trump said that now that Maduro is in custody, his lawyers have learned some things about Venezuelan election software and ties to tampering with the 2020 election results. When asked if military action in Iran is still on the table, President Trump did not rule it out. The Department of War seized another sanctioned tanker in the Caribbean. The Senate never confirmed Lindsay Halligan to be U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, so a judge has moved to replace her. President Trump signed an executive order to prevent massive corporations from buying single-family homes. Office of Management and Budget Director Russ Vought launched an investigation into all federal dollars sent to Democrat states and Washington, D.C. amidst rampant fraud. Lastly, President Trump called on Senate Majority Leader John Thune and Speaker Johnson to codify mass amounts of his executive orders this year. That's all I have for today. I'll be back with another update soon. Until then, please like, subscribe, and share this podcast, and follow me on Instagram and X at Shades of Jade Pod. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.